And I literally give people the trust that I think they deserve, you know what I mean? And when it turns around and backfires on me, or it doesn't come back, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like I got fucked, you know? Like, literally got fucked, you know? It's like, fucking wire, you know? So there's a part of me that's like, don't even put your fucking self out there, man. You know what I mean? Don't even do that. Why bother with that? You know what I mean? There's a part of me that just wants to shut down that whole fucking society, social fucking network shit, you know? And just like, do
growth. Who needs it?
Yeah, you know? That's how I get, you know? And so it's like I said, when it comes to you, Wes, you know, that's how I look at it. I look at it as you're one of my closest friends, man. You know. Well,
I identify with that, man.
You know,
I totally appreciate that, and it means something a lot more than you can realize, because recovery has flipped my life completely around.
Right. I know that.
It's
feeling.
Also isolated me, but in a positive way, because when I was using, I was isolating. I was doing whatever I needed to do, establish whatever relationships I needed to perpetuate my situation.
Right.
You know what?
Yeah.
I may not need these people in my life, like them or appreciate them, but I'm honed a social skill to get what I needed, so I can get home and stay in my comfort zone. And since I've gotten into recovery, a few of those people out there are great people, and they've stayed in my life, and I've stayed in contact with them. They still mean something to me. However, I've had to re-establish who's in that inner circle. And one of the hard things of being in recovery, being out here, is I've moved away from my circle of friends, more than an hour away.
Right.
And
I know I'm taking that drive.
Since then, a lot of my family has moved away. So I got my brothers and my father's side in Vegas, and my mom has moved away from the valley where I used to live to Seattle with her husband, and the only person that's left near me has just got back into my life and causes a lot of distress to be around him, you know? Right. And I don't know if
it's not supposed to be this way, motherfucker.
But in the sense that whoever is in my inner circle, which isn't that many, I don't think I have 5 people, dude. Right. I've got, you, and that's pretty much it, man. There's not too many people I hang out with on a daily basis. I mean, I go to work and there's people that I consider friends and close friends, where I share emotionally what's going on with me and the show, and I look forward to their opinions and their thoughts, but none of them come and hang out with me.
Right.
When before I lived in that zone, I didn't have my own place. I lived with my friends. Because I was a scumbag piece of shit, I didn't have anything of my own, and I didn't make enough money, and I didn't lead a life where I could be independent. I was codependent. And if you look forward to partying every day and all of your friends party every day, then
you're the guy.
Then not necessarily. You're there where it's happening. Right. You don't have to think about being productive and doing something with your life,
or paying rent, or bills.
Well, that too. But everybody's coming around to party, and nobody cares about what they're doing in their lives if they're getting high.
Right.
So I was living in limbo for a long, long time, and now I'm living in reality, and it's rough. And I need, and that's a good thing about this podcast, is I get to express myself in my growth and share, where I came from and who I am now, and how frustrating it is to be, having to deal with emotions, having to figure out how you're going to navigate and maneuver through this world with a system that works for you, and you got to have people around you that support you and encourage you.
Yeah.
And it's rough because you do have your family around you, and they support you.
Let me be honest. Let me stop you right there, man. Listen, I do have my family around me, but in that realm lies a lot of fucking chaos, dude. There's a lot of chaos.
Well, there is, but everybody recognizes Marin is not the same person he was.
Yeah, and you know what?
5 years ago.
Sometimes I just get tired. Sometimes I get, and again, I don't know if it's I every time I see him, it's like it's the same. They say the same thing. You know what I mean? But it's funny because when they say it to me, I'm like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? But like if I hear that from you, or if I go,
I don't know that. I didn't know Marin before.
Right, but if I go to the rooms, you know, and people see me from when I first came in the rooms, how sporadic and nutty I was.
Right.
Now I think I'm in check a little more, you know what I mean? At least I hope I am, you know what I mean? But they'll be like, dude, you were just like all over the place, dude. Your mind was just like, you know, and they say, you've come a long way. And I'm like, wow, you know what? I have come a long way. I like take their opinions, and these are people I spend like 1 day a week with.
Right.
And here it is, my family. I spend like, I want to say 40 hours a week with them, you know what I mean? On average. And it's like their opinion, not to say that their opinion doesn't matter, but it just kinda,
it carries more weight with people that have been through your struggle and lived that life.
Not only,
and have found a better thing.
Not only that, but, and again, they're not going to fucking hear the show anyway, so I actually really shouldn't give a fuck. But they're all still out there doing their thing, you know? They're out there still drinking and smoking and using and blue and all that shit that comes with it, you know what I mean? And so when they sit there and they're like, oh, you're doing so good, it really doesn't hold any water with me. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't, I can't relate to, I want to relate to what they're saying, but it's like, how can you look at me and see how good my life is and not want to change your own life, you know? And again, that's my ego talking that, because the reality is I can't change who the fuck they are.
Right.
I can't change what the fuck they're gonna think of me. I can't, you know what I mean? I don't have any control. If that was the case, I'd be fucking God, you know? And so, again, it comes back, it just comes back to this whole trust issue and this trust, you know, whatever it is, this thing that we have going here, you know, with the show and with our friendship and whatnot, you know. I think what happened yesterday and what we went through, and especially with this talk that we're having, like we're going through right now and we're talking about it, it confirms to me, or it reassures me that we're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? We're not going anywhere. There's a lot more here than what I previously thought. You know what I mean? And so, and again, I apologize, dude. I want to say this, and not just because we're on fucking air or whatnot, you know, but I say it from my heart, dude, that what happened yesterday was just like a momentary lapse of judgment on my half, and I'm just glad that you were able to be the bigger person and call me, and we were able to just like kind of work this out. You know what I mean? And again, you know, where we go from here, I'm hoping it's all good. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm thinking it's gonna be good. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
And this is just one of those. Again, and I don't know. Maybe it was just the fear of that it was just gonna be the two of us, and like, is it gonna be the same boring fucking shows? You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter, man. As long as we feel a passion, if we feel like we're getting something out of just doing it, right? Someone's gonna benefit from it. We just need to get the exposure out there. Yeah. And that's gonna take time.
Like that, you know what? And at this point, dude, I'm not this. I don't want to say that I don't give a shit whether the show makes it or not, because I do. I want this show to be the biggest, baddest fucking show out there. Now, whether we ever achieve that is one thing, but that's what I want. and I want to put so much more into this than what I've been putting into it, you know. And like I said, I want this to go some. But regardless of whether this show, if one day you just decide to say, you know what, Marin, I don't know if it's working out, and I'm just gonna shut the show down. I doubt that's ever gonna happen. But I'm saying, if for whatever reason, you know, I just remember I go back to what you said when you said, you know, I don't want to fucking hold a resentment against you, and I don't want to lose you as a friend. You know what I mean? So to me, that speaks volumes, dude. That just shows me. It just shows. And again, I'm not that much more older than you, but I would think that the age difference that I have on you, I would be more honed in on the whole emotional attributes of what comes along with my age. You know what I mean? They say at my age you're supposed to get fucking wiser instead of smarter. So, well, but you just showed me.
Rest assured, I will always be the beggar man.
Yeah. But you just showed me yesterday that you know what I mean, that out of the chaos there's something, you know, there's something there, well, you know.
If my previous character might have had you in my life for opportunity's sake,
right,
but the opportunist in me had to be let go a long time ago, and I had to figure out, you know, a new mode of operations.
It's funny how we use those terms now, right?
since adapting a program into my life, I've had to recognize right off the bat, why is this person in my life, and is there a coexisting beneficial scenario for each party here. When before it was like, how are you in my life to benefit my situation solely?
Right. Yeah, I got that.
You're in my life because you're perpetuating my sobriety. You're a close friend that I can rely on. You can relate to my character defects and flaws, and you will set me straight. You will call me on my shit, right. And you will listen,
vice versa,
right? And that's what I'm gonna say is, and I know you're listening to me when I'm calling you on yours.
Right.
There's a lot of people in life where people approach you about advice and like, this is what's going on with me. When all they want to do is talk about what's going on with them, they really could give a shit about your advice and they're not going to listen to it at all.
Yeah.
When people in recovery are like, I can't move forward. I can't make a decision until I run it through my program, my panel of people, right. You know, because I know whatever decision I make for myself is going to screw me. So I know that when we share advice with each other, when we're you know, being friends,
right,
that comes above all for me too. Which is why I called you and said, let's get together, even though I have a resentment for you just calling me and saying you're done with the show. I'm sure you got a sense of that when I told you that I didn't want to go to meetings anymore. So I kind of felt that, and I'm like, he stayed my friend, even though I'm not going to meetings every day or every week with him.
Right. No, you're not going to meetings at all.
Well, you were pretty much the reason, because you were the only one that I could relate to, and everyone else had left the program.
Right.
And you were my friend from it, and I know I need people like that in my life to keep sober, to keep life. You need people that are living that same lifestyle. So regardless of where the show goes, if you do decide to walk out, like I'm sure if I do that with you, we're going to make that phone call. Or at least I'll be the bigger man and make that phone call and make sure that our friendship stays intact.
Yeah.
And I wanted you, that was one thing that I made sure I wanted you to know. Like, I didn't exactly see it the same way. Where we're in Staples, you're like, this dude is going to say whatever he wants wherever he is. I didn't feel that. I felt like, I want Marin to feel like I'm not going to just jump onto him. I'm not going to attack him or throw anything in his face. I'm just going to go about my life and exist and bring you along with me, because that's what friends do. Right. Let's just go hang out, and then let's talk about this thing that's bothering both of us.
Right.
And once I established that with you, I wanted you to know, number one, if you don't want to do the show, that's okay. but I want to talk to you about how I feel so that I don't hold it against you and let it build and create this